Okay, so now that we've understood the back and forth of this Gemara from this red line to the blue line, these four lines, so now we're going to break it up into its different components, into its different parts, using our four highlighters like we explained in the last video. Okay, so let's go over these statements again and try to figure out together what color we should highlight these different parts. V'amar Rabbi Abau said, Minayin l'rav, shelo yashav al gabei mita, v'yeshna l'talmido al gabei karka. From where is it derived, right? How do I know that a teacher is not allowed to be lying on his couch and teaching his students while they're on the floor? Shenemar, because the Torah says, Ve'ata po amodi madi. Because it says in the Torah, you here stand with me. We have to be on equal footing. So very interesting. So what would you highlight this first line when Rabbi Abau sets it up? Where is it derived that a teacher is not allowed to be on a different level than a student? So at first glance, you might be tempted to highlight it blue because Rabbi Abau is kind of like asking a question. And maybe then you would highlight the next line when they bring the pasuk, pink as an answer. The truth is you could do that, and I won't necessarily say it's wrong, but I don't think it's 100% accurate. Although it's phrased as a question, Rabbi Abau is really saying this as a statement, right? He's setting it up as, let me teach you how you should know, or how I know, that a teacher is not allowed to be on a couch while students are on the floor. Let me explain you how I know that. I know that because the Torah says, Ve'ata po amodi madi. So really this whole first part, and I realize my whole marking section is right now gone. Where did it go? There we go. That whole section can be really can be made yellow as a statement. V'amar Rabbi Abau, and Rabbi Abau said, even though I'm going to be underlining it, you can actually highlight the entire text on page 15. Just for whatever reason, the highlighting feature doesn't really work well on these PDF documents. Oh boy, got it into where I didn't want to get it to. Hopefully it'll straighten it out for us. Let's see. It did. Nice. Okay, so that whole statement of Rabbi Abau, let me tell you how I know that a teacher is not allowed to be on a couch while his students and teach them while students are on the floor. And then this next line is his proof. Shenemar, as the Torah says, Ve'ata po amodi madi. So this next line is actually a proof for his point. Shenemar, because the Torah says, Ve'ata po amodi madi. So again, if you wanted to make that first line as a question and this is an answer, it's true too. But I really think Rabbi Abau is giving a statement. He's saying, how do I know this? I know it because the pasuk says it. This is my proof for this point that a teacher and a student need to be on equal footing, on equal level. Now, that doesn't mean that you don't have to respect your teacher. Of course you do. But the point is it shouldn't be top down, right? It shouldn't be, and we can maybe discuss more of the implications of this in class, of still balancing the need, obviously, to respect our teachers, but at the same time not coming across as almost like a top-down, overarching approach. Now let's go to the next statement. And I just gave it away what the next thing is. Tanu Rabbanan, our rabbis taught us, Miyamot Moshe vi'ad Rabban Gamliel, lo hayu lamdin Torah ela miumad. The rabbis taught us that from the times of Moshe until Rabban Gamliel, they didn't teach Torah except standing. People only taught Torah standing up. Mishameit Rabban Gamliel yarad choli leolam. When from the time Rabban Gamliel passed away, sickness descended upon the world. Vayu lamdin Torah miushav. And now people only learn Torah sitting. V'hainu ditnan. This is what we learned in our Mishnah. It's like this, what we learned in our Mishnah. Mishameit. You see this little chet over here, right? This little chet, I think, brings you up over here to the Mesorah Shas. Tells us that Mishnah is in Masechet Sota. We see that little chet takes us to that little chet. So this is from Masechet Sota. And the Mishnah there teaches us from the time Rabban Gamliel passed away, Batel Kavod Torah. The honor of Torah diminished or was or stopped. The honor of Torah stopped because now people no longer were standing when they were learning; they had to sit down. So take a second and think: how would you highlight maybe these next two sections? I said there were four, so this also could be broken into two. Give you a minute to think. Give you a second to think. All right. This is how I would do it. The next statement, I think, is a statement. Our rabbis teach, Tanu Rabbanan, This whole thing is a statement again. From the time from Moshe's passing away until Rabban Gamliel, they would only learn Torah standing. Man, I'm losing this line. Yarad chol yilam vayu lamdin Torah meyushav. Ooh, that made it into like an arrow. That's interesting. I don't know why I did that. Get that last line down. Torah meyushav. Okay, all that is the next statement. That from the times of Moshe until Rabban Gamliel, people only stood when they were learning Torah. We're not talking about reading from the Torah right now. We're talking about people learning. They would always be standing. And then things changed. Now this last statement, Vahinu Ditznan, and that's what we learned in a Mishnah. From the time Rabban Gamliel passed away, the honor of Torah stopped. This Mishnah is a proof of this concept. The fact that the Gemara, that they taught, the rabbis taught in a Breita, that from the times, from Moshe until Rabban Gamliel, people stood. From the time Rabban Gamliel passed away, people needed to sit. A proof of that transition happened after Rabban Gamliel passed away is this Mishnah, which basically tells you from the times of from the time that Rabban Gamliel passed away, the honor of Torah no longer existed. This is a proof, or maybe not a proof, but a support, I would say. A support for this idea. Well, let's start a new line over here. Rabban Gamliel Batel Kavod Torah. Right? You just taught me that from the time that Rabban Gamliel, from the moment that Rabban Gamliel passed away, people became sick, people became tired, and weren't able to stand when they learned Torah. A support of that is that the Mishnah says that the honor of Torah stopped when Rabban Gamliel passed away. So the truth is, I can change this statement over here. Green is no longer just proof. I think green is proof / support, we'll say. I'm making all caps to keep it consistent. Proof / support, because this isn't necessarily a proof of something, but this Mishnah, like we said from Masechet Sota, supports this previous statement. So if you look at this section over here, it's really divided into four. We have an initial statement by Rabbi Abahu and a proof from a pasuk, and then we have a statement from the rabbis, and then a proof or a support from a Mishnah. That's this section over here. So after you've highlighted this appropriately on page 15, hopefully you still have this sheet, but go back in your packet to page number 4. Page number 4 was where you divided the earlier piece of Gemara from the red line to the red line into 4 sections, using now our highlighting technique. Again, yellow for statements or teachings from Brightot, etc. Blue question, pink answer, and green proof / support. I'd like you to highlight that section on page 4. Again, not in your Gemara text itself, but on page 4. Dividing that into its 4 pieces. So we already you should have answers already down on page 4 for the different parts. We already explained statement, question, answer, proof. So I'm not going to do that again. But now using those 4 colors, please highlight these 3 lines appropriately based on what you think each section does. If you need help, you can come ask me, but I'd really like you first to try your best to do this on your own. Then you'll hand in page 4 and page 15 to be graded. Okay? Awesome job today. Good luck. Hatzlacha Rabbah. We'll see you soon.